Hello, I'm Todd Cotta. I'm sitting here with Cody. He's my skills builder instructor, plus more. What are you certified in there, Cody?
So I'm currently certified to instruct through the NRA for CCW instruction and through the USCCA for basic handgun development courses.
There you go. And his primary class right now that he is teaching is our skills builder class. Our skills builder class, he's going to tell you a little bit about what the benefits are of taking skills builder.
So Todd, basically, when it comes to skills builder class, I first and foremost takes a big step or takes kind of a lot of courage for people to step forward and take that next step with wanting to continue their education with firearms development and skills and stuff. I like to think about it a little bit slightly different than just showing you something and telling you to try and replicate it. I teach it more of a diagnostics class. So I'm going to give you all the proper tools that you need to become a better shooter. And then we're going to shoot, and then I'm going to observe, see what I might want to tweak a little bit there from there. And then leaving the class, you'll have all the tools, the knowledge, some basic shooting drills that you can do both at home and on the range that will continue to further develop your skills as a shooter.
Are there three basic things that we talk about, though, when it comes to being an accurate shooter?
Right. So when it comes to being an accurate shooter, the biggest things that are going to fall in that realm are going to be your grip on how you're holding the firearm, trigger control, stance. Those are the three main components of it when it comes to that stuff.
We don't really necessarily focus in on sight alignment in this class as much as we do stance, proper grip, and trigger control.
Correct. So sight alignment comes with time. The biggest thing, because a lot of shooters, when they're first starting out, they can't even pull the trigger without necessarily yanking it on target. So I don't want you to necessarily worry about keeping your sights aligned the entire time. More or less learning how to actually linearly pull that trigger without disturbing the motion of the firearm at all.
Yeah. If you hook it too much or
Correct.
if you have too much fingertip on it,
Right.
it's going to make the rounds go different places.
Correct.
Ultimately, we want to see your rounds in a straight line up and down. And then as you get used to the recoil, it should start getting shorter and shorter of a line.
Yep, and that's exactly the thing I always tell people. The biggest thing that a lot of times people will come into the class and they'll have a lot of linear deviation in their grouping, but no horizontal deviation. And it kind of irritates them. They're like, oh, I can't get the rounds to stack on top of each other. And it's like, that's fine. I don't want you to necessarily... Some of the students will be able to come in there and they're just dead shots. They can stack 10 shots out of 10 shots.
Yep.
But for those students that are still kind of learning and stuff like that, that linear deviation is a really good sign because that means the only thing that you now need to work on is the timing and the actual sight alignment, because if you're sitting there shooting left and right, that means you're not even getting that proper grip on the firearm to begin with.
Exactly. If somebody has taken first shots or they've been shooting in the past and they don't think that they're as new as they could be to take first shots, is Skills Builder a good choice for them?
So if you're first starting out and you haven't shot hardly at all, I would definitely suggest going through the first shots class first. There is a little bit of terminology stuff that might go over your head, which I try and break everything down as simple as possible. And I always tell my students, hey, if I say something during the class that you do not understand, interrupt me. Raise your hand. Don't let me move on to the next subject because you might, if you're like me, you're going to forget your question.
Sure.
So that's the big thing there. The biggest thing is what the difference between the first shots and the skills builder class, and the thing that I really like to see with students that are coming in is don't be afraid of the gun. And that's the big thing with our first shots. It's built to get that nervousness out.
Sure.
If you're still a little nervous around the firearms, I would honestly suggest getting a little bit more comfortable before you do come to the skills builder class.
Great. Finally, what are three things somebody can take away from taking your Skills Builder class?
Something that you can take away from taking up my skills builder class is you're going to be able to self-diagnose. So I'm going to explain the thing so that way you understand what you're doing wrong. Because if I just tell you something that you're doing wrong and you don't understand why it's wrong, you're not going to ever get it.
Sure.
So I'm going to explain that.
Sure.
Another big thing is that you're going to feel more confident with the firearms because I'm going to explain safety, handling, all that other stuff.
Sure.
And the final thing is going to be more or less like confidence.
That's
with it.
exactly the word I was thinking of
Yep.
right now is confidence, knowing that you have the tools now
Correct.
to hit the target where you want because we've shown you the fundamentals of how to do it.
Exactly.
How does somebody sign up for the class?
So you can sign up either in person here at the King's Gun Center. Just walk up to our counter and you'll be greeted by my lovely coworkers or anyone else, or possibly myself that's behind the counter.
Exactly.
And we can sign you up on here in the store, or you can go to our website, kingsguncenter.com, and you're going to click on the training tab, and then you can sign up through the website as well.
Easy enough. Skills Builder, a great class. If you find yourself with a little larger pattern and you want to get it just a little bit tighter or go to that next level, it's not a difficult class, and we don't sit there and turn it into a tactical class. It's just a class, relaxed shooting, where we can show you those little things that'll make you a better shot. Sign up online or come on in the store. Thank you for training with the King's Gun Center.